So in last three recording we have been discussing the sleep and sleep and sleep. Okay. So now we will be discussing about, we have already discussed various theories for sleep. Okay. Now two main types of sleep we have discussed. One is REM sleep, another is what? Non REM sleep. Okay. So what are the various factors which are responsible for this non-REM sleep and REM sleep? Okay. So I have already told you in the theories of sleep. Okay. If you take non-REM sleep, okay, there are certain sleep zone. Okay, like one sleep zone is, you can say, diencephalic sleep zone. Whether it is mainly anterior hypothalamus and thalamic nucleus, mainly midline and intralaminar nucleus. Okay, if it is, they have found that low frequency stimulation produces the sleep, high frequency does not produce the sleep. Okay, so that is diencephalic sleep zone. Then other is what? Medullary synchronizing zone. Means again here it will be reticular system, some situated somewhere in the medulla. Okay, again they have found low frequency sleep produce, high frequency sleep not produce. Okay, then there is basal forebrain. What? Basal forebrain. Okay, so basal forebrain, what they are finding was different. Low frequency as well as high frequency both produce the sleep. Okay, so these are the certain areas which are going to produce the sleep. Okay, so not only that, certain area we already discussed, some nucleus of tractus solitarius, if it is stimulated, mechanical efferent, okay, not pain fiber, okay, mechanical afferent. So all this, so whenever all these factors are stimulated, sleep is produced. Okay, so this is what non-REM sleep. Okay, then REM sleep. So here we have already discussed there is a loop between thalamus and cortex. There is a loop between thalamus and cortex. Now here mainly these cholinergic neurons are there. This we will discuss in chemical regulation. Okay, so thalamus, between thalamus and cortex there is a loop that is known as thalamocortical loop. Okay, so during this REM sleep, what is happening? This see, thalamocortical loop, to start, it will be initiating for both non-REM as well as REM. Okay, mainly for non-REM sleep. Okay, thalamus as well as thalamocortical loop. Okay, now I will come back to this REM sleep. So REM sleep, REM sleep, what are the direct factors responsible? Thalamocortical loop is not the direct factor which is responsible for REM. Okay, so thalamocortical, you can say in general, for activation of sleep, thalamocortical loop is required. For REM, there is cholinergic neurons are there. These are known as PGO spike. What are they are known as PGO spike. Okay, means what? P means what? There are certain, in pontine reticular formation, certain neurons are there. Okay, then here it is geniculate body. Again, geniculate bodies are the nucleus of thalamus only. Okay, then occipital cortex. Okay, so if you see this area, that is known as PGO, high frequency you are getting. Okay, so that is why it is known as PGO spike, and all this is these are what? Cholinergic. All these are what? Cholinergic. Okay. So this PGO spike are considered to be responsible for what? REM sleep. Okay. And REM sleep, I have already given you example where they have tested importance of REM sleep. Okay. If persons are just deprived of REM sleep, ultimately they have found that his nervous system is disturbed, and ultimately patient may die. Okay, ultimately death may occur. So REM sleep is very important. Okay, so these are the various factors which are playing in REM sleep and non-REM sleep. Non-REM sleep, mainly it is some structures which are activated, and REM it is mainly PGO spike. Okay, and all these are what? Cholinergic. Okay, now in general, if any person is deprived of sleep, what changes will be observed in that? Person will become very irritable. Okay, other symptom will concentration, he will not able to concentrate. Okay, even in some book it is mentioned that Babinski response also you may get. Okay, so all these are the changes which will be seen if person is not allowed to sleep. Okay, so these are about the various structures which were playing role in REM sleep and non-REM sleep. So other structure which is playing role, or I will just tell about chemical control. So in chemical control I have been discussing, I have been giving stress on brainstem nucleus and hypothalamic nucleus. Okay, brainstem nucleus and hypothalamic nucleus. Okay, so if you take this brainstem nucleus, okay, I will just tell you something about this diagram. Okay, so brainstem nucleus and what? Hypothalamic nucleus, these are mainly playing role in the sleep. Okay, now if you take this nucleus, just see here in brainstem nucleus, if means there is a competition between norepinephrine, serotonin and acetylcholine. Norepinephrine, serotonin and acetylcholine. Okay, so brainstem nucleus are mainly playing role in where? REM sleep. I have been telling you that, see, acetylcholine is increased. When acetylcholine is increased and this norepinephrine is decreased, okay, what is produced? REM sleep is produced. Okay, just see in brainstem nucleus, ब्रेनस्टेम में क्या था? रेटिकुलर फॉर्मेशन था. रेटिकुलर फॉर्मेशन में आई हैव टोल्ड यू वन वाज रैफे न्यूक्लियस, ओके, अदर वाज लोकस सेरुलस, and other is what? Cholinergic neurons are there. Okay, so Raphe nucleus and locus coeruleus. Raphe nucleus was producing serotonin and locus coeruleus was producing norepinephrine. Okay, so whenever their level will go increase, what will happen? Person will become awake. See, role of reticular activating system. Okay, now whenever this cholinergic neurons they are becoming activated, ultimately what is happening? PGO spike will occur. Okay, and what will be produced? REM sleep will be produced. Okay, so this is how brainstem was playing the role. Okay, then hypothalamus. So in hypothalamus play huge role in this. Okay, so hypothalamus is having mainly here two neurotransmitters are there. One is histamine and other is what? GABA. GABA, you know, it is an inhibitory neurotransmitter, and histamine here it is activated. Okay, I think okay, hypothalamic nucleus, I think anterior nucleus is playing the role. I think there is a competition between preoptic area and some other nucleus is there. Okay, so whenever GABA level will increase, okay, whenever GABA level will increase, it will cause inhibition. Okay, so that way they are playing the role. Okay, so histamine is from posterior hypothalamus. Histamine is from posterior hypothalamus, and GABA is from preoptic nucleus. Okay, so that way hypothalamus is playing role in slow wave sleep. Okay, so see, ultimately they act on thalamus and cortex, and ultimately slow wave sleep is produced. Okay, so starting is always initiated by this thalamocortical. Okay, so if activation is less, then non-REM sleep will be produced. So this is a very beautiful picture where role of chemicals can be studied. Okay, so beside that, some other peptides are given, like sleep peptides are there, muramil peptides are there. So all these chemicals are playing the role. So a hypothalamus, see, preoptic area is playing the role, another area is what? Posterior hypothalamus is playing the role. Okay, so see, hypothalamus, we have already studied one of the function of hypothalamus in where? In sleep. One of the other function we have already studied is what? Okay, so other function we will study. Okay, so before that we will just revise till now what you have studied. Okay, so we have discussed about genesis of slow wave sleep. Okay, so we have discussed how this diencephalic sleep zone, this activation is producing, then mechanoreceptor is producing, how chemicals are responsible. Okay, and certain sleep peptides. So all this were the factors which were responsible for slow wave sleep. Okay, then genesis of REM sleep, mainly increase acetylcholine and this decrease, they were playing the role. And what was? PGO spikes, they were playing the role. Okay, so this way we have studied. Now hypothalamus, okay, so hypothalamus, you know, it is situated somewhere near the thalamus, like this. So like this is a portion of hypothalamus. Okay, so here, somewhere here, optic chiasma is there. Okay, then near somewhere around optic chiasma there is one nucleus, which is, it is known as suprachiasmatic nucleus. So why I am telling you all this? See, sleep is ultimately is one of the important circadian rhythm. Okay, now what are there? From retinohypothalamic fibers are coming to suprachiasmatic nucleus. Okay, now from the suprachiasmatic nucleus, then it will go to intermediolateral gray horn of the, means superior cervical ganglion. It will go in the superior cervical ganglion. Okay, now from here, then ultimately signals are there what? To pineal gland. Where they are signal? Pineal gland. Okay, so whenever it is the night, what is produced? Melatonin is produced in the night. Because of increase, melatonin is produced from serotonin. It is produced from serotonin, from N-acetyl. One enzyme is there which play a role in this N-acetyl transferase. So what I mean to say, that during circadian rhythm is mainly covered by the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It is mainly covered by the suprachiasmatic nucleus through its connection to the pineal gland. And what is produced? Mainly melatonin is produced. So during the dark, melatonin level will be high, and during the day melatonin level will be less. Okay, so that is how hypothalamus is playing role in the controlling circadian rhythm. Okay, so that is, sleep is one of the circadian rhythm. Okay, so even if like there are no external cues, still rhythm is maintained. Only thing that in that case rhythm is around 25 hours. It is not 24 hours. Okay, so that way hypothalamus is playing the role. Okay, then one Nobel Prize is for this sleep. Nobel Prize has been got for this explaining circadian rhythm. It is through what? PAR and TIM protein. PAR and TIM protein. Okay, so what is happening in the night? See, complex of PAR and TIM protein is stable. And what is responsible for giving stability? This PAR protein. It gives the stability. Okay, so during the night this complex is stable. Okay, so what this PAR and TIM protein will do? It will suppress the clock gene. Okay, so because of which we will go to sleep. Okay, now what will happen during the day? PAR protein will be destroyed. So TIM will be there, but it is unstable. So clock gene will become stimulated. Okay, and towards night again same thing will be occurring. Okay, so this discovery was has been received Nobel Prize, I think, in the year 2017. Okay, so this is the role of PAR and TIM protein in the in circadian rhythm. Okay, then mechanism of arousal I have already told you. It is through reticular activating system and thalamus. Okay, then role of chemicals we have already studied. Circadian rhythm we have already studied. Now just last 5 minutes. So certain applied you should know. Okay, see, there is a separate branch on sleep medicine. Okay, so I will be giving you in short. So what is insomnia? Insomnia is inability to sleep in spite of having proper opportunity for sleeping. Okay, if there is everything is there but still you are not able to sleep, that is insomnia. Okay, so there are various causes of insomnia. Okay, then somnambulism is what? It is sleepwalking. So it will occur in REM sleep or non-REM sleep. It will occur in non-REM sleep because REM tone is not there. Nocturnal enuresis, it is also bedwetting, commonly seen in male infants. Narcolepsy patients suddenly go to REM sleep. Obstructive sleep apnea, there is decreased tone is there. Since there is decreased tone of neck muscle, that obstruction may occur because of that sleep apnea. Then in certain limb movements are occurring, that is known as periodic limb movements, especially dorsiflexion of the ankle and some knee joint movements are occurring. REM behavior disorder, I have given you example that animals like cat act out in the dreams if there is problem with the certain structure which are responsible for maintenance of tone. So all these are the applied aspect. Okay, so with this we will stop.